till I get my money right.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascend. Happy Friday. Let's go. Kicking off the weekend here with a little bit of crow. I wasn't planning a rhyme there, but it worked out. All right, on the screen, I have the macro going all the way back to 2018 when crow started being traded on exchanges. You can see the 5 waves up. And guys, some of these, this is a liquidity thing. I'm not worried about that wick. We're looking at the candle closes on these waves. First wave, second wave, third, fourth, and fifth. 5 waves down in orange. And sure enough, we bottomed back in September of 2023. Crow's just kind of been hanging out around the lows, but finally popping out. And if we look, we had this long trend line going back to November of 2021. Once we popped above it, bam, we went 86% that 1 week. So you see how that stuff works there with the trend lines. That's beautiful. A pretty complicated count down here, right? So you'd look at this initially and you'd say, why isn't that 5 waves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if that were the case, that 4th wave dropping below the 2nd wave just doesn't happen. So what it is it's a complex correction. We had an ABC run up, a WXY correction. So that high ends up going up here. That corrective move for wave 2 is complete down here at the bottom. And that's how we get waves 1 and 2 here. The other thing too is this might not have even gotten as high as it did. This was the Trump pump here in November, right? So that was perfectly timed there. Had that not happened, this thing might have just been a retrace, right? And it would be a much cleaner ABC for 1, down for 2, 3. But because we did have that event, looks like it got a little bit carried away. All right, so that's where we're at there. The reason for the video is we want to find out waves 3, 4, and 5. Where are they headed? We're going to look at a conservative target, and we're also going to give you some secondary stuff as well. But before I jump into that, guys, join the Quantum Circle, entries, exits, strategy, emotional mental clarity, 2 daily macro videos, whole lot more. Link to that is in my bio. That's the real alpha, guys. Understand where the broader markets are going, and you'll understand what's happening with your altcoins. All right, so looking at this guy now. First things first, I want to go back in time and make sure we've closed out all these ranges. So for this first wave, we'll use that wick. Sure enough, closed it out on that 5th wave, okay? Looking at this 3rd wave, again, that's a liquid, pulling that down to there. We see we got stopped out on that 5th wave right around the 3618, right? But we still haven't closed it out. We still haven't hit that 118 level. So I'm going to put that up here for the time being. Oh, that actually, look at that. That was not intentional. Okay. So we have that up there right around like 119, 120. And that would close out this range 3 to 4. All right. Next thing we want to do, this most recent range, the last high to the last low. We're going to draw fibs on this guy right here. I made this a little too hard to see on myself. I want to make sure we grab that low. Bam. All right. So as you can see right now, kind of back testing the 236 area on this entire range. That 4236 of the 3 and 4, really not any confluence up there, but that would set us off into one more new all-time high. The next range I want to look at here is this wave 1 to 2 drop. Let's see what a full extension of that gets us. Sure enough, a full extension of this macro drop going back to the December highs, which on a lot of coins we're talking about full extensions from the December high. I have beautiful confluence here with the 786, right about 78 cents. For me, that is going to be my main and conservative target. Now, we have to talk about waves 3 and 4 in here. Obviously, this thing has gotten some gas, popping up above that high. We love to see that, right? A couple things could be playing out here. This 3rd wave, we've been talking about on the channel in my Quantum Circle, how oftentimes these things will break out past that last local high, hit the 1618. Let's do this. Hit the 1618 and then come back, test this region. Is that what's happening right now? There's a chance, this is the weekly chart, so it's a little early to call it, but there's a chance that's wave 3 and we're waiting on wave 4, right? And this is a $9 billion cap. This is a big coin. So even getting this much growth has been huge. I mean, from the bottom of wave 2 here to that, you win a 5.6x, right? That was like, around $1.5 billion when that happened, something like that. And this thing took off, and it was not a long amount of time. From when it really started, July 7th. From July 7th right there, we went almost 5x up until now. So there is a chance. We got to wait and see. This third wave could extend up here to what we have right now as our final target. If that's the case, we'll come back to the drawing board and we'll discuss some higher targets. But right now, it's acting as these third waves typically do, getting up around the 1618, back testing the level, and then going one more time. So is this a leader right now? And we see this money kind of rotate into other stuff. Maybe this just waddles more sideways a little bit. Everything drops in wave 4, touches it, and goes. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, right? That's all conjecture at this point. But using fibs and showing you guys these different levels, this is kind of what makes the most sense. One other way we can do it is let's see a full extension of this first wave from low to high. That gets us out there about 85 cents. So not too far from our 78-cent level. Okay. One reason to believe this thing could end up setting a new high is we talk about a crashing pattern a lot on this channel. A 7-wave move, right? A lot of times it'll come back up to the 4th wave here, which it did. It exceeded it a little bit. Came up to the 4th wave there for potentially a wave 6. You would come take this low out one more time for a wave 7. But again, this chart is inverted. So what that would really be is one more new high, slight high. So right now, my base is what I showed you, getting up to that 78-cent level, right? That's not too far from where we're at right now. I understand that, okay? But I'm giving you guys my thought process. I'm showing you the logic and how to use the math. There is a chance that this settles down now, okay? If the market all continues to rip and stuff, you would assume this thing would keep going. And then, maybe that's when this third wave gets up into that retracement level, right? But for now, this is what we'll say. Wave 3 right there, 39 cents. Wave 4, what did we say that was coming back to? 35 to 50% drop typically. This is a larger cap coin, probably closer to 35-40%. I look right here, bam. Back testing that first high is exactly 39%, and the level that was just discussed right there. So what we're talking about is we had that run up to 39, potentially a drop down to 23 cents, one more blow off to 78 cents. We already discussed this higher target. In addition to that higher target, if this thing really gets gassed, then yeah, guys, we can talk about some of these bigger targets up here, right? We got stuff up to $4 as far as I'm concerned. Little bit of juice, especially at a 9 billion, this thing would really have to be a winner. So not to say that it can't happen. Want to put that on your radar. But for me, we're going to say wave 3 was 39 cents, wave 4 down to 23, wave 5, 78. And again, we'll adjust if we need to. So that's what you got for CRO. Like I mentioned, guys, join the Quantum Circle, real-time trades, access to my portfolio, 2 macro videos a day, a Discord channel, and I teach you how to do TA just like me. Check it out. Link to that in the bio. If not, just super appreciative you guys are here. If you could follow, like, repost. I want to get this info out to as many as I can before it is too late. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a great day. Talk to you in a bit.